Hi, today we're going to look at the Automotive Advisors team's used car optimizer tool. So you go to the website Automotive Advisor Team to log in, and here is the used car optimizer login page. As you can see, we have a demo that you're watching that's right here to walk users through how simple the program is, but how effective it is. And then we have dealer testimonials that rotate here each month. You can listen to Jake at P&B BMW talk about how he, as the used car director of 2 stores, uses this program to increase his turn, also increase his gross profit by reducing aged inventory. This program will do that for you by leveraging the right amount of inventory that you need in your dealership from the best channels, direct from consumer first, and then of course other purchase channels second, to meet your needs and exceed your sales goals, but also be set up for next month. So you'll know your best channel of efficiency. You'll know you have the right amount of inventory coming in each week at the right time. And in 90 days, most dealerships improve their time to front line by a day to a day and a half, because the used car directors use this acquisition schedule as well to manage their inflows into the service drive for reconditioning. So they have a well-oiled machine scheduled to understand what they can expect and then how quickly they can get it out to the front line. It's been a very successful program. I'm excited to show you. So you log in here. You can see here I am a demo dealer, so we're going to go to demo dealer 1. We'll look at the tool, and as you can see, it's broken up into 3 sections. We have the volume of sales that you need to make your volume of inventory that you need for your sales plan. We have a vehicle buying plan, and then the gross tracking by channel. So we set up a month for our dealers every month using this left section. How much inventory do I need to meet my sales plan? As you can see, we set it up here, sales goal of 185. We pace it every day on a rolling 30 days so we can have our pacing schedule and make sure that we are pacing for the right amount of sales we expect. And if we're not, we can make adjustments there. We manage what we want to have for next month as well inside this buy plan. So we're looking at meeting our goal for this month and being ready next month with grounded inventory. And then we manage our direct from consumer. So all the inventory we expect to get from our internal channels right here. Once all that is laid out specifically at the beginning of the month for a new month, then we're left with what we need to buy in P cars. Some dealers very few, some dealers more. It just depends on your market and your nameplate and of course your strategy. Once we get a total number of P cars for the month, then we break it down into weeks and days so we can bite that elephant off efficiently. This is how we manage that. We put each week having our P cars here for 26 a week to make our 105 a month. So each week we know we have a focused goal. Also, we have our direct from consumer goal of 125 broken out in 31 a week. So all here we'll manage our direct from consumer activity to see if we're meeting our goals each week. If we meet our purchase goal but miss our direct from consumer goal, that will roll up into purchase goal for next week, because we can't magically ask for more people to come in. If this week we purchase the cars, including the deficit here, then overproduce here, then we'll subtract this and purchase less from the wholesale channel the next week. And week after week, the service drive director gets this and knows what's coming in, what he can expect. These come in later in the week or first of the following week, and these are here coming in this week. And time to front line is really significantly impacted in a positive way. So once we've set up our month over here, and then once we've determined our plan for the month and how we're going to set our P cars and our direct from consumer cars from our trade sources, and you can manipulate these numbers, these headers, so that it can say whatever you want. Then we determine how we're performing in these channels and this channel. So we look at our wholesale growth. We look at our wholesale trade growth off that sale and all the way through the line. So what we do is we manage the inflows of inventory and the outflows of that inventory on the sales side. So we're not just worried about acquisition, but worried about sales effectiveness by channel. And then we get trades off of that. And what ends up giving you is an average front and back PVR. Plus by channel, you know what your per unit gross is by channel. So this is a demo account. I don't have it all filled out, but if I did, you would see that this channel is better than this channel and so on and so forth. Now, what you do down here is you look at the graph and you see that we have an acquisition goal in green. And this is what the program's telling this dealer every month he needs to be at a certain number to hit his sales goal. And if he's below that number, you'll see the green is below the line. If it's above, it's above. And as you can tell, when the number goes below, you start seeing the sales rate. So the original and revised sales goal, you start seeing the sales goal come down a little bit. When it starts going up, it's reflected about 30 days later, and you can see the sales results going up. So if you If you do what the program tells you to do, in most cases, you're going to actually meet your sales goal and not have to revise it very much. But if you had to revise that sales goal, let's say your current sales rate was 151, you would type in 151 and let's say week 3, everything changes. So you have fewer acquisitions needed, fewer left to go in the month. So that's how we keep ourselves from overbuying during the month. We're always pacing the sales pace, which is 30-day sales rate rolling average, and managing it week by week to make sure that we have the right amount of inventory coming in for what's going out. And that's what keeps our PVR so high by channel. So this is the basic plan. This plan is offered as by channel light, used car optimization light, and then we have obviously an age tracking component to our plan, where we track any bleed through, stocking, and sold inventory. So if we continue to stock more, do we sell more but bleed more? So we're able to efficiently manage the dealership based on these graphs, and it's all shown here in a 0 to 30 bucket, a 30 to 45, and a 46 plus. And then we have a turn profit because we want to know how the department is doing. We talk about departmental gross all the time. So the question is, here's my sold number. Here's my gross per unit. If I'm selling more, do I gross less, right? And so you watch the red line, and that's your gross. Is it growing or staying flat or declining? But correlate that to your sold line. And sometimes you have to, when you start selling more, your PVR decreases. But again, you want it to start coming back up after a few months. To grow, sometimes you have to get a little leaner. And we know that. So we look at that every month. You can see we have total sold, total held, what our turn rate is so far. As you can see in the month, our goal month over month in this orange line is to grow departmental gross. And that's what's happening here. Dealers being very successful. And then finally, we want to look at our acquire efficiency, how our channels are working based on not only the sold to trade ratio. Now, not look to book, but what we sold versus what we traded for. So they sold 10 cars, traded for 9. They're at a 90% sold to trade ratio. Used car, they sold 30. They booked in 16 trades. So they're at 53%. Well, our goal is minimum of 60. So they have a little work to do. That's a good sign right there. And the second thing is trade source. We want to know how we're doing in our sources. This dealer's almost 60% wholesale. That's way too high. But let's see what they were back in, let's say, October. In their acquisition channel, they were 35.84%. So not bad, right? What about November, right? And so if you look in November, 45. So they've grown a little bit. We need to keep an eye on that. But their other trade sources are different. That they get rid of something else. So if you look at October, an ICO, they had an ICO product, but they don't in November. So that tells us that, they must have gotten rid of some kind of a trade tool here. So it gives us an opportunity to see how our wholesale is moving. That's the blue line. You can see it there. It was high. We brought it down, but now it's high again. How's our new car or used car moving? How's our used car? So we can really track how we're doing. And again, our goal is to grow these channels and not this one. If you're a multi-rooftop dealer, you can see that I'll log out here and I'll log in as our demo so you can see how that works. So for multi-rooftop dealer, we'll pick the month of December. We'll go to update. And you can see I've got all 4 dealerships under this one dealer roof heading. Here, 2 dealers are in region 1, 2 dealers are in region 2. So if you're broken down by regions and multi-rooftops, we can look at that. As you can see, we have roll-ups by region. So you can see how region 2 is doing, how region 1's doing. In that, you can see how dealer 1's doing, dealer 2, right, and get all their numbers. So you can kind of navigate between dealers and regions. And then, of course, at the group level, you can roll up to the group. And why this is important is you want to be able to see if you're over or under leverage in total inventory by the group. Because as a total P&L for the corporate structure, you obviously have to worry about capital expense there as well. So group leaders can look at this and compare. So you can always go into months, you can go into years as we move in, and of course between dealers. And that's what's really successful about the program. It's very easy to navigate between them. And so let's see, acquire efficiency here. You can look at a region roll up there and see how each dealer is doing. Dealer 1, dealer 2, right? In this region, it's only dealer 1 and dealer 2. You go to region 2, it's dealer 3, dealer 4. Again, demo accounts, I don't have any data. But as a region manager, you can actually compare, right? How's my 2 or 3 or 4 dealerships doing in the way they acquire and how they're trading for inventory and new and used sales, and really allows dealers to have an opportunity to, for showcase what they're doing well. And then, of course, find areas for growth that we can get better. So I hope this helps you. It's really kind of a fun program. It's very simple to use. Like I said, this is the core program here. We'll go back to a dealer with data. Here's the core of what we do. This sets up the month at the very first day of the month. This manages acquisition through the month, so you have enough inventory to meet your sales goal. But if your sales goal starts pacing slower or faster, we can manage a little bit more activity here by the prescriptive algorithms. And then we want to track and say, okay, we met our goals, but did we make any money? And do we make more money than we did last year? So it's a really easy plan to follow. Most used car managers love it because it keeps them in cadence, but allows them to really put their head on the pillow at night and go to sleep knowing that they're not over leveraged or under leveraged. Nothing's going to sneak up on them and get them in trouble. They're not going to have a ton of cars drop and overburden their service bay. They're not going to end the month buying too many and have it roll over into aging next month. They can really focus on driving sales on the floor, coaching, training, develop their staff, interact with customers, all the good things that they do to make the dealership successful, while this program with their usage, right, runs their used car mathematical and algorithmic operations to a T. And finally, I'll show you this is all uploadable, so they can upload all the data in here in an upload file and an FTP, and it'll fill in all the yellow spots right here. Now they can type them into, I just showed you a minute ago, we can type it, right? No big deal. But if they want to upload the FTP into here, it'll upload as well. So make it very simple for you. So reach out if you have any questions. We'd love to talk to you more about it. And this is John Ellis with the Automotive Advisor Team. You can find us at www.theautomotiveadvisorteam.com. And on there, you can schedule a live demo with some of your stores.